Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining me on this Nirvanic Journey where we are aligning our health with our enlightenment. Okay, today I'm going to share some myths and some facts about dairy, where it's hiding in your diet, how it can affect your overall health, and some of the most common symptoms that could be done away with completely, deleting this unnecessary food group from your diet. I'm sure that you probably have a friend, you know of someone that has gotten off of dairy, and maybe you're just here doing your own research, or maybe you've watched documentaries such as Food Inc. Also, most of you that are able to watch this video now probably remember the huge milk campaign, marketing campaign back in the early 90s, Got Milk. They also had, I think Milk Does the Body Good, but I didn't really research that one. But Got Milk started in 1993, and they were actually hiring athletes and movie stars that people respected, highly respected athletes, and that to put the milk mustache on and to perpetuate dairy sales. And I'm sure that dairy sales went up quite a bit during that time. It's a good, honest marketing campaign. But, we live in the United States where money makes the world go round. Okay. So, even if something can be proven to not be as healthy as we think, it still can be passed through the FDA and still get into our grocery store shelves and can still be marketed as something that's healthy for us. So the primary issue here and that you hear about is people being found to be lactose intolerant and their body is not able to properly digest milk. That's because our body only makes the enzyme that digests lactose, which is milk sugar, until about the age of 5. After that, our body stops production of lactase. There is a small percentage of the population that has what's called lactase persistence, and that's where they will continue to make lactase throughout their entire life. The telltale symptoms of lactose intolerance usually will happen within 30 minutes and up to 2 hours after consuming anything with dairy in it. Some of the most common symptoms would be upset stomach and bloating, diarrhea, gas, allergy symptoms such as skin rashes, hives, acne, also foggy brain due to upsetting the balance in your gut. And of course, we know the gut affects the brain. Regardless of your ability to digest lactose or dairy products, according to the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, dairy can still be a huge sabotage to your overall health, okay? Some of the health problems associated to dairy consumption are as follows. Dairy products are the top source of saturated fats in the American diet. Mixed with processed foods that are high in sugar or mixed with high fructose corn syrup, mixed with things like that, can actually harden in our vessels or cause us to gain weight around our midsection, okay? And that can also be caused by the way it upsets your stomach, tears up your stomach, things like that. And then number 2, the stomach upset, diarrhea, bloating, gas, and how if you eat foods that doesn't agree with your body, how it can tear up and perforate your gut. A huge myth is that dairy strengthens our bones, but in actuality, dairy products have very little, if any, benefit on bone health, and due to inflammatory properties can even be the cause of bone fractures, the leaching of calcium from the bones and things like that. A study was done on 96,000 people and found that the more milk that teenagers consumed, the more bone fractures they suffered as adults due to the culprit, milk sugar, also known as lactose. Regular consumption of dairy has been linked to prostate cancer, increased risk of lung, breast, and ovarian cancer in people with the inability to digest the dairy derivative. As seen on GoDairyFree.org, some of the most obvious foods that contain dairy are cow's milk, all varieties, even skim, malted milk, evaporated milk, buttermilk, half and half, cream, butter, cheese, ice cream, milkshakes, yogurt, macaroni and cheese, and the creamy ranch salad dressing. So that all of those contain milk, and those are kind of obvious. Some of the foods that are a little less obvious where milk can lurk in your diet that you don't even expect is going to be the majority of processed foods, the boxed foods that you see in the middle of the grocery store on the shelf. And hopefully you already know how bad processed foods can be for you. But if you're still using them and suffering migraines or stomach upset and these symptoms, you may want to start here, read the ingredient list, okay? Baby formula is largely based on milk and milk derivatives. Bakery goods and breads even have dairy in them. Baking mixes such as cakes, muffins, pancakes, etc. Bath products. So if you're finding that you have like contact dermatitis type skin issues, rashes and things like that, you might want to check your shampoo if you find that you have a dairy allergy or a dairy intolerance, okay? Breath mints that have casein. So you also want to look for casein. That's a word that is not, you wouldn't associate with dairy. Check your candy also for casein and milk derivatives. Some canned tuna contains hydrolyzed caseinate, which is, guess what? A milk derivative, okay? Some of the cereal varieties have a milk derivative in them. And now that it's convenient because on the ingredient list at the bottom, they will list anything that most people are allergic to. They'll list wheat, dairy, things like that, dairy derivatives. So make sure you check there. Chicken broth may even contain milk or protein solids. Coffee creamers, even the ones that say non-dairy. Cookies, cream liqueurs, ready-to-serve puddings, breading mixes like that you would put on fish to fry fish and stuff like that. Goat's milk sometimes because of the way it's kind of formulated exactly like cow's milk. Lactose-free milks are still loaded with milk proteins, which are the primary culprit for some. Some flavors of potato chips, salad dressing, soup, sherbet, not sorbet. Sorbet is usually dairy-free, but sherbet will have dairy in it. Various spice mixes, whipped toppings, things like that. So the list goes on and on and on, folks. And like I said, I found that list, some of those items on godairyfree.org, so you can look that list up yourself as well. Again, I'm not wholly demonizing the milk campaigns, their marketing schemes and things like that, because I know it's the American way, but I also know that we are free still in America to do our own research and find out what's best for us and our families. And I just hope that due to the fact that you're here today, that this means that you are your own researcher for your own children and your own family, and that you're making the best decisions you can, okay? So if you want to find out how to get tested for allergies, just go to your primary care physician or your GP and tell them, or your allergy doctor, local allergy doctor, and tell them you want to be tested for the basic food panel. That's going to include wheat, shellfish, dairy. That's going to include a lot. You can just be tested for one specific item if you just want to be tested for dairy, or if you just want to be tested for bread or nuts or anything like that. You can also individualize those tests. But it's really not that much more expensive to have like the full panel run. It's got like 20 to 25 foods on there. I'm a phlebotomist. I used to draw blood for that all the time. But anyway, so that would be a good way to go to start out there. You can also have the skin test done where they test for immediate skin issues. That's especially helpful if you have an acne or an acute, like a dermatitis type thing, or, hives or rashes, eczema, psoriasis, things like that. So I hope and wish that all of you guys will find out what you need by being able to go to your doctor and everything like that. And I hope that this video has helped you. If it helped you, I hope that you will hit the like button and share it with someone that you know that might have some skin issues, eczema, psoriasis, things like that it could possibly help. I wish all of you blessings, much white light, and namaste.